Stepney comes to breakfast. Stepney, the Bluebell engine, has worked his branch line for many years and knows it very well. You just know where to stop, Stepney, laughed his driver. You could almost manage it without you. Stepney had become conceited. He didn't realize his driver was joking. Later, he boasted to the others. "Driver says I don't need him now," he told the others. "Don't be so daft," snorted Oliver. "I never go without my driver," said Duck earnestly. "I'd be frightened." "Pooh," boasted Stepney. "I'm not scared." "You never dare," said Duck. "I would then. You'll see." The next day, the firefighter came. Stepney drowsed comfortably as the warmth spread into his boiler. Oliver and Duck were still asleep. Stepney suddenly remembered. "Silly stuck in the muds," he chuckled. "I'll show them. Driver says I can manage without him. I'll just go out, and then I'll stop and whoosh. That'll make him jump." Stepney thought he was being clever and really he was only moving because a careless cleaner had meddled with his controls. He soon found his mistake. He tried to whoosh, but he couldn't. He tried to stop, but he couldn't. He just kept rolling along. He didn't dare look what's coming next. There was the signalman's house. The signalman was about to have breakfast. "Horrors!" cried Stepney. The house rocked. Broken glass tinkled. Plaster was everywhere. Stepney had collected the bush on his travels. He peered into his room through his leaves. He couldn't speak. The signalman was furious. His wife picked up her plate. "You miserable engine!" she scolded. "Just look at what you've done to our breakfast. Now I shall have to cook some more." She banged the door. More plaster fell. This time, it fell on Stepney. Stepney felt depressed. Workmen propped out the house with strong poles, propped out the house with strong poles and laid rails through the garden. Then the steam team arrived. "Dinna finish yourself, Stepney. We'll soon have you back on the rails," they laughed. Thomas, Edward, Henry, Gordon, James, Percy, Toby, and Emily, puffing hard to manage to haul Stepney back to safety. Bits of fencing, the bush, and a broken window frame festooned was front, which was badly twisted. The steam team laughed and left him. There was even worse to come. "Stepney, you're a very naughty engine." "I know, sir. I'm sorry, sir," said Stepney. Stepney's voice was muffled behind the bush. "You must go to the works and have your worn parts mended. It'll be a long job." "Yes, sir." Meanwhile, a huge Virginian locomotive will do your work. "A huge Virginian locomotive, sir?" Stepney spluttered. "Yes, Stepney. Huge Virginian locomotives always stay in their sheds until they're wanted. Huge Virginian locomotives never gallanting off to breakfast in signalmen's houses."